Hi everyone, welcome to On the Other Hand. I'm Ariane Zurcher. Today we're doing lesson number 10 of our handmade otter needle roll. In lesson 10, we will be placing our shapes, arranging them, adding more if you want, whip stitching them down, and we will begin embellishing a couple of them. Join me. We are in the final stretch here. Don't forget to hit the like button. Click on the subscribe button. There's a little bell that pops up. Click on that for email notifications and talk to me. I love hearing from you. Leave me comments in the comment section. If you haven't done so already, join my Facebook group, Ariane Zurcher Stitching Circle. It's a vibrant, lively group and a lot of fun. I'll leave the link for that group down in the description section. Grab your needle roll and let's get started. Okay, we're on page 13. I have whip stitched all my shapes down. Well, you know me well enough now to know that I just cannot keep to the instructions. So this is 5/8 of an inch circle. I put that one next to this one. And then I did this little 1/2 inch circle just below the red flower. I added this one 7/8 of an inch and this one, which is 3/4. I have not designed those. So for those of you who are thinking I want to do that too, but you're not sure what kind of stitches, I'm going to be exploring that, and it's kind of a bonus. Just as a reminder, this is the original design, and I'll be doing these shapes first. And obviously, if you want to add other shapes and what I've just shown you here, go for it. So we're going to start with the star. I'm going to use my 6-inch ruler, a chalk pencil, and I'm going to draw lines from point to point through my star using shepherd's silk and phoenix rising, which I have here. I'm going to put it on a size 18 chenille. By the way, aren't these fabulous? These are from Pat, who sent them to me along with some amazing, look at this. Isn't that pretty? Pat sent this to me. You can put your thumb in here, put it in your pocket. And then look at her hand-dyed velvet that she did. I think it's ice-dyed, she said. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to use this velvet. I will be embossing it for something soon. I have all of these things right next to where I'm working, so I see them all the time, every day. Here's my fly stitch. So I like to start with the one stitch going down and then come to the side here to do my first V. So I do my point, and then I'm going to go right in here for my first V. I'm going to go right down into my center here, and I'm going to come up the next point. I come out just beyond the tip. I'm at my final leg here, and I'm going straight into center. And now I'm going to do a colonial knot in the very center. There it is. There's my little starfish. So cute. Looks like a little cookie. Red flowers next. So using Sue Spargo's 5-spoke spoke easy, I'm going to center this and draw a line to each petal. And there are my 5 spokes. Now I'm taking my Aurora's Flame. Unlike with the starfish where I went the outer edge of the leg, even as it got wider, I just kept going to the outer leg. I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to keep these all the same width apart. So I'm going to come in on the wool as I go down. So as I come up for my next one, I come up to the outer edge, tip of the petal, go to the other side, and come down on that center chalk line to make my first V. Then instead of going to the outer edge of the petal here, I'm going in and I'm going to make all of my fly stitches a similar width. So I'm using my Easy M31 in a number 8 weight with a number 3 Milners, and I'm going to stitch a bullion knot from the V of each of these petals. So from here into the center of the flower. So I need enough bullions to cover this distance. Right, I'm going to do 22 and see how that goes. Pretty good. It's not going to puff out, so that's fine. And I go into the next notch between the petals, go into center, come out the other side. So I think between 22 and 24. 1, 2, 3. So that's 24. Let me do 23 and see how that looks. That's 23. I think I could do 24. "24 seems like a good number of wraps for this. So there's my final one, and we're moving on to the next step on this. Okay, so I'm doing a detached chain on the inside of each of these little V's. And now I'm going to, using Easy 28, which is this one, I'm going to stitch a 3-wrap French knot right here into the center of each of the detached chains. Alright, now I'm going to stitch a 12-wrap bullion knot around the tip of each of these flower petals from here to here, and I'm going to do 12 wraps. That's about right. And I'm just going to go to the next petal over. I am running my thread down the back like this, and I'm not going to worry about the fact that it's running along the back. I'm nobody will see it. Okay, with my shepherd's oak Phoenix Rising, I'm going to do 3 7 cast-on drizzles in the middle. I've got my little 4-inch drizzle pad underneath, which I can anchor my thread into, and I find that very helpful. I'm going to push my needle down into the center, and then I'm going to do 7 cast-ons. There's 1. That's my 3 drizzles. There's my red flower. All right, so the next one is the green flower, and I think we're going to go ahead and do that. So here's my 5 spokes, and I'm going for the center of these petals as much as I can. I can use my ruler just to sharpen the line. I turned away, and look what happened. Look at him. He's right on my instructions. Very possessively, I might add. Just turned to pick up my number 5 ECM 22, which is this, by the way. Stitch a fly stitch from the tip of each petal into center, and another from the V of each petal going into center. So what that's going to look like is this. I'm going to do my first fly stitch going here into center, and then I'm going to do my next one mimicking the V here. So I'm going to go right from there into here, and then center, and then the next petal. And one thing I just want to be aware of is not pulling it so tightly that I'm changing the shape of this flower. I want to be conscious of keeping it pretty relaxed so that in the back there's not any tension that's pulling this, So these back stitches are laying flat and they're not pulling everything in. All right, so using my Sea Glass Lagoon Silken Pearl and a 24 chenille, I'm going to go ahead and couch these long legs down. I'm being careful not to pull this tightly, so I don't want to distort the leg. I really just want to have a tiny little couch here that just holds it in place, but doesn't actually move it at all. Right, I'm doing a 10 wrap bullion in between each of these legs, right from the center to just about there. So there's my bullion knots in my Easy 28, and now I'm going to use my number 8 EZM 31 I have here, and I'm going to stitch 18 wrap bullion loops in this inside of each of these little life stitches. So I just want to make sure I grab something. I don't want to grab too much because I want it to come around. Okay, an 18 wrap loop. And I'm gonna pull it down so that anchor it right there. And then I'm gonna come up to the other side for my next one. That's what I'm going to do on the ends of each of the next 4 petals. I'm going just a little out of order only because I have this already on a Milner's, the Easy M31, and it calls for further down, it calls for a 2 wrap Colonial knot at the tip of each of these bullion knots. I'm going to go ahead and do that now, just because, as I said, I have it on the needle already, and then I'll go back and do the other stuff. So a 2 wrap Colonial knot simply means doing a Colonial knot like this, wrapping it around once, and then wrapping it around again. I find for a number 8 weight, it kind of needs that extra wrap, or it gets so tiny that it just sort of disappears. So again, I've never seen anyone else do this. I've never seen it in a book, but there's no reason why you can't wrap it a couple times. So a regular Colonial, wrap once and then wrap twice. The 2 wrap Colonial is what I'm calling it. I'm sure others have done this. I'm not sure actually how this differs from a 2 wrap French knot. There's going to be that added little figure 8 twist to it, I suppose, but I don't know. I'm using Easy 26, which is this colorway, and I'm going to do a 3 wrap French knot inside these bullion loops. Okay, so I'm doing a 3 wrap French knot here as well. I'm going from basically where this fly stitch is, from there to here where the other fly stitch leg is, and I'm just going between them and I'm doing a cast on. Saying 8 cast on bullion knots. So it looks just like that. I'm going to go the other side. I'm going to do this on each petal all the way around. I finished my cast-ons, and now I'm going to use my Fiji Falls, which is this Aurora, a number 18 chenille. I'm going to stitch 2 elongated seat stitches, the ends of each petal. Just do something like that. Okay. And then stitch a colonial knot in the center of the flower using Fiji Falls. So I'll go ahead and do that. A colonial knot. I'm going to do a 2-wrap colonial knot, even though it says to just do a regular. Okay. A colonial with 2 wraps. Just gives it an extra little bit of body to it. So there it is. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found this helpful. And don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, click on that bell for email notifications, and leave me comments in the comments section. I love hearing from you. Don't forget to check out that description section because I'm leaving links for all the different threads that I'm using. And until next time, here's to stitching our needle roll together.